so much here. The borrow movement of infestors, the use of infestors. Positional play has never been so important with the rise and the use of the infestors.
That is very, very true. All right, ladies and gents. Thanks for staying up so late. We're about to go into the next map right here. Violet versus Leenock.
IPL 5. Welcome to IPL 5 Daybreak.
All right, folks, welcome to Daybreak. And this can really go one of two ways. Either it can get very aggressive very early on, or it can turn into a pretty long macro game between these two players. And, well, no craziness as of yet.
That's right.
Okay, folks. This fellow right here, down to the southwest position in the red trunks, playing Zerg, currently up, or indeed equal one game apiece. He is
Azubu Violet.
One of these nerds is going to get rich here. $20,000 difference.
Certainly. Well, the only man actually getting rich in Vegas. Versus his opponent, up to the northeast position in the blue trunks, also playing Zerg. He is
FXO Leenock.
$40,000 first place, 20,000 seconds. A lot of money. 60,000 overall between these two players right now in this series, potentially the second one, depending if Violet wins or not.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to see any early pulls at all in the series, actually. Not just this game, of course, but the next game and the next game and the next game. Simply because there's been so many times where Violet has opened up spawning pool first.
Yep.
Leenock's never going to early pull. Is the option there for Violet to early pull versus Leenock? Yes, but he won't do it either because the drone drilling has become so strong as of recent. You can buy enough time, and I don't think Violet would even risk it. Of course, have to win this best of 5 and the potential best of 3 as well.
Yeah, certainly. And the control between these two guys is fantastic. And the drone drill technique where you're able to mineral click, which sends all of your drones in a very tight pack, and suddenly they'll spring out and potentially surround the lings in the process, is very effective. And you can then micro your drones out of position and save most of them. So the 6 pooling that we saw in yesteryear is not exactly all that great anymore. And while we do see 10 pool opening aggression into macro afterwards, we're not seeing that here.
That's right. The overload from Violet did go in to check the gas. It saw the timing of it, so that he knows that potential speed's going to be down pretty fast in this game, or at least a little bit faster than his. You can see there's like a 50-60 gas difference between the two players.
All right, a couple of extra queens coming out here for Leenock. That's something on the field for him. And first few minutes, usually pretty passive. The speed coming down again, always, it seems, always faster for Leenock. He likes to get that speed out nice and early. Does give him options to actually apply aggression. Baneling Nest, identical timings for both. No big surprises there at all.
Nope, you have to get a Baneling Nest down within this matchup, because if you don't, because there's always going to be the option that your opponent builds a lot of links. It's always going to be there. If you don't, you're going to look silly. You have to use Banelings to defend. You're going to have to use Banelings to be aggressive as well. They are just so incredibly important. The thing I'm looking for, though, are we going to see someone tech, or are we going to see a lot of links made for a potential setup of aggression? But the way that both of these have been playing in the series, they're both solid on the Baneling Nest. They're both getting spine crawlers usually.
Yep.
And when both players play identical, the defender has such an advantage in the Ling Baneling wars, usually because of the spine crawler, and then on top of that, the queen as well. So you don't really want to do too many early aggression plays. So as we can see in this game, it doesn't look like this is going to be the case.
No, indeed not. Okay, well, next few minutes will most likely be fairly standard. Then Evolution Chamber is coming down for Leenock again. That is the stylish little wall off right there with 4 lings.
Yep. holds the ramp tight from any lings coming in. And we have the Evolution Chamber finishing up for Leenock, immediately Carapace before teching up, as we can notice, compared to teching immediately here for Violet.
All right, well, the question is, in this kind of scenario, with that +1 Carapace upgrade, and yeah, thou shalt not pass, one way or the other, is there a timing that can be exploited here with the Carapace upgrade that Leenock might be able to hit?
No, he's not really looking for a timing. He's just looking to make sure that he can be aggressive towards... If you think about it, as mentioned earlier, there's always going to be aggression towards the third base.
Yeah.
The timing of the Carapace upgrade here is to kick in around 8:30 or so, which is the time you take a third base. So Leenock is saying, with the Carapace down, I'm going to defend my third base a lot easier, and I'm also going to be aggressive to yours because of the Banelings, you know, having the extra hit in there and being able to... the Link, sorry, being able to survive the extra hit.
Okay, well, at the moment, so far, so standard for both sides. A little scouting going on just to try and find the time of the third base. Could even actually deny the placement for a little while if it were to move in, and also Leenock taking his third base around the appropriate time too, since we've seen no interference from either side, and no denial, but he does scout the timing of it, so he can confirm it. It's no big surprise. 4 defensive Banelings being morphed here, and Violet once again going Infestation Pit, just same build again and again, going to what he finds to be safe and going for the early burrow once again to allow for that infested Terran harass.
And look how the timing of the Carapace is working in for this the inevitable Link fight on the third base, because as mentioned, when you get to 50 drones, you have lava, you have money, you got to build Links here to put pressure on your opponent or to defend your own. So we're going to see this come into play. This Carapace upgrade is going to work wonders here.
Well, good trade so far with these Banelings. That, not so much. And Violet's able to nail that one down quite nicely. Leenock trying to pick off a couple of Banelings without taking too much damage. And so far, he's done a reasonable job of it. But the aggression here so far from Leenock hasn't worked out yet. Crashes right into a Baneling. Doesn't miss. Doesn't actually lose too many Lings at all here, but does to that one. And it's really, really tense here.
The Carapace upgrade is done now, though. If Leenock brings his third base down, that's what he's aiming for here.
Yep, he's managed to break
he's unlocked it. Is he going to be able to bring it down? Where are the units coming? 22 Lings on the way, but they're so far away from actually coming here. And that hatchery should fall.
Yeah, it should at this kind of... I don't know, actually, he may be able to get it. The hatchery's now complete, and there's a couple of Banelings now moving in. So the timing on the defense right here for Violet has been superb, but the aggression is not over. And let's see what this trade is like. One goes off, and 2 Banelings versus 2 Banelings.
Oh, big hit there.
Yeah, very big. In fact, that was great for Leenock, but he doesn't really have a follow-up to that, so it looks like he's just going to back off for a while. And as we can see, Pathogen Glands coming up here for Leenock, as well as the Roach Speed and +1 attack. So guess where we're going for this game?
Going straight to Roach Infestor once again. And we'll see as we are going to have Violet put a bit of pressure on over here to do the same of what Leenock just did, but I'm thinking Leenock should be okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. Once again, Leenock's control against Banelings is nothing short of astonishing. It really, really is. He's still, come on, that's just showing off.
That is, at this level, they can do what they want.
Apparently so, especially if your name happens to be Leenock. And Roach comes out and gets beaten up by a couple of these little guys, answering, ooh, nicely done.
What are these doing over here?
Oh,
Unfortunately, there's no drones.
There's one. No, there's no drone. No, there's one right there. No, that didn't work out at all. Although it has done significant damage there at the hatchery. Probably not what he was looking to do, but
yeah, I mean,
there's been no transfer yet.
If we see Burrow research very soon here from Leenock, he can use Burrowed Infestors with Infested Terrans to bring that hatchery down.
Yeah.
And there it is. So that's really smart from Leenock.
Yeah, certainly. And that detonation's going to weaken it just a little bit. And now Roach Infestor aggression is going to start rolling out from either side towards their respective opponents' bases. And the first one's going to come in here. A little bit of a supply block there, actually, for Leenock, because he's going to get another one, in fact, if he ends up losing that Overlord, which is looking kind of likely at the moment. But wow, here he goes. Leenock's right into the main base. Going to catch a few drones in the process here. Great fungal growth there by Violet, however.
Yeah, pretty good solid defense on that third base. The Roaches in the main aren't going to really be able to do anything. Ideally, you want to hunt down the Queen to stop the production. But he is just going to, he kind of knows that these Roaches aren't doing anything, so he's just pulling him back as far as he can go to the back of the base, get a couple of drone kills, and see what he can do.
Well, picks up 4, not bad actually. He could easily get a 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th in this position, but he actually wants to leave, and it looks like that Violet's going to be very kind in allowing him to do that. Also spots the timing on the Roach there. Oh, he's going to get himself a Queen. Oh, great fungal right there by Violet to prevent that from getting into range. But yeah, still quite a lot of pressure going on the 3rd or 4th base being taken out by Leenock, and as we saw many times before, Leenock very much the aggressor here, but we're not seeing more of that kind of trademark Burrowed Infestor play early game by Violet.
And look at one thing that I'm noticing here, is that we're actually seeing the +2 carapace being researched instead of the +2 missile
That's a
attacks.
bit more unusual.
You really don't see that often.
Yeah.
That obviously the Infested Terrans are going to be in the fight a lot longer with that. I wonder if he's going to throw down a Hydra Den soon. If he gets a Hydra Den, it's going to make a lot of sense because, of course, he's going to have a lot more buffering at the front. His roaches and Infested Terrans take a little bit more damage, and then the Hydra's always with a high DPS in the background anyway, will be able to launch down a lot more.
That's certainly a possibility there. I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go because most Zerg players do favor the +2 attack and actually often just ignore the carapace upgrades completely.
Yeah, we'll see. As right now the game is slowing down. There is no openings anymore. The Infestors are out. So there's usually 2 massive openings throughout Zerg vs. Zerg. The initial early stages with Lings, and then you get the Lings to the 3rd base, and then maybe a bit of, as we saw now, a bit of flirting with some Roaches and Infestors before the count gets too high. But at this stage, it's all about the big battles, the fungals, the positioning, and the micro. Most important, to not let those Infestors die.
All right, well, let's see how it goes, because Leenock is once again ever the aggressor. He does have a supply lead when it comes to Roaches, and Fungal going off in the center there. Not so great at the moment. A second Fungal comes in here. A lot of Infested Terrans going down on both sides, and, well, we're just going to have to see how this fight actually ends up going. Leenock does have the supply lead there, but it's absolutely impossible to figure out what's going on there. It turns out, however, Leenock is able to smash his way through. He's moving towards the 4th base and even being aggressive towards the 3rd here, and this is a lot of damage coming in onto that 4th hatchery.
Yeah,
free Infestors for Leenock as well. Nice
Infestors. He's got the +2 carapace done before the +2 attack is done here, so he actually wins that fight rather convincingly and has a great supply lead. Look at that.
Leenock is actually in the main base as well. He spots the Hydra Den. He's doing damage here, significant economic damage. Leenock is all over his opponent at the moment, but will we see some of that trademark of Violet defense being able to bring his opponent away from his actual bases and being able to stabilize and get the units he needs? Oh, he's going for it right now. Oh, nice spot right there.
Oh, dearie me. These Infestors are all going to die.
Yes, they are. They are absolutely boned, as it were. And now Leenock has a massive Infested lead of 9-0.
Yeah, that's just... That's game winning right there.
The
Infested Terrans are so important. The Fungals likewise. Through 2 different timings in this game, the initial carapace into the 2nd carapace fight, Leenock is playing really, really clean.
Yeah, he is. This is flawless play here from Leenock. I haven't seen a mistake from him this entire game thus far, if I'm totally honest. Now, once again, push towards that 4th base. And Violet holding onto it pretty well, but at the end of the day, you're trading energy for Roaches here.
And I really like this +2 carapace upgrade because the Infested Terrans, likewise with the Hydras, have a great amount of damage that they put out there. If they survive for longer, they're going to do more damage. So this is working here for Leenock.
GG, ladies and gentlemen. It worked pretty damn well indeed. And Leenock pulling out a huge win there with massive supply differences towards the end, 190 to 121. Good strategy there by Leenock and great timings. And well, there you go. +2 carapace obviously does work in this matchup, and it was used to great effect.
That's right. Leenock now is 1 game away from winning this tournament. Violet, match point, has to win this. It's going to be very stressful for him. You can see shaking his head. He knows what position he's in right now. He has to win this best of 5. He has to win the next 2 games in a row and then go to another best of 3. That's a difficult task.
Yeah, that's really, really awful, actually, when you get your winner's bracket guy basically sitting on match point for 2 games. And then after that, he says, but wait, there's more. We've got another best of 3 coming in for you. So we'll see how this turns out. It may very well be the momentum Leenock requires in order to just take this series in a sweep, 3 games to 1.
Very much so. It's very possible that this happens. Leenock is so good. His Zerg vs. Zerg is great. His other matchups are dominant. He doesn't lose anymore. No. He's won a lot of tournaments. Won MLG just only a couple of weeks back. It was like 3 weeks ago he won a major tournament, and he's on the verge of doing it again. That consistently hardly ever seen.
No, certainly not. Especially not consistent performance in Korea and consistent performance in Western tournaments. That is a rare feat indeed. Many players just don't travel well, or they do well in one but